Discover three breathtaking natural wonders in each state here in the Pacific Northwest that capture the bioregion's raw beauty. Welcome to RV Out West. I'm your host, Brooks. My Family of Four's base camp is located in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and our RV adventures radiate out from there. Please grab a mug of coffee and join us as we discuss RVing around the American West. From sweet camping spots, gear and equipment, to tips and tricks, we've got you covered. We are RV Out West. The Pacific Northwest is one of the most ecologically diverse regions in North America, defined by a stunning variety of ecosystems and bioregions that range from lush temperate rainforests and rugged coastlines to alpine peaks, volcanic plateaus, and high deserts. This natural diversity is due in part to the region's unique geography, where ocean, mountain, and inland ecosystems converge to create a patchwork of microclimates and habitats. You can walk among giant moss-draped cedars in the Olympic rainforest, traverse wildflower-strewn alpine ridges in the Cascade Mountains, or explore the sagebrush-covered steppes of eastern Washington or Oregon. This rich ecological tapestry supports an incredible range of wildlife, plant life, and natural wonders, making the Pacific Northwest not only a haven for outdoor adventure, but also a vital region for biodiversity and environmental stewardship. Some of the most awe-inspiring natural wonders aren't found within the boundaries of a national park. They're tucked away on public lands in state parks, or even hidden down quiet back roads waiting to be discovered. These lesser-known places often offer the same dramatic beauty and outdoor adventure as their more famous counterparts, but with fewer crowds and a deeper sense of solitude. And they often invite a different kind of experience, one that rewards curiosity and encourages a slower, more personal connection to the land. In many ways, these spots embody the true spirit of exploration, finding beauty and allowing nature to surprise you. I've put together a list of 3 natural wonders from each of the Pacific Northwest states, Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, that you might want to explore on one of your upcoming RV adventures. Let's start with Washington State. Palouse Falls is located in southeastern Washington, about 1.5-hour drive west of Pullman. It is a dramatic geological wonder with a story etched in ancient cataclysms. The falls were formed during the Ice Age over 13,000 years ago as a result of the massive Missoula floods, some of the most powerful floods in Earth's history. As ice dams repeatedly burst in what is now Montana, torrents of water raced across the Columbia Plateau, carving deep canyons and creating what we now call the channeled scablands. Palouse Falls, plunging nearly 200 feet into a deep basalt canyon, is one of the last active waterfalls from this glacial era. The river's abrupt drop into the canyon below remains a stark, beautiful reminder of the violent forces that shape the region. Palouse Falls is both a geological treasure and a site of natural drama. As you approach the falls, the landscape transforms from rolling golden hills of the Palouse to a sudden volcanic canyon, where the roar of water echoes through the layered basalt walls. Mist rises from the churning plunge pool, catching the sun in fleeting rainbows. The setting is remote and timeless, with a raw, elemental energy. In 2014, the falls gained modern notoriety when kayaker Tyler Brandt, an American professional kayaker known for running massive waterfalls, set a world record by paddling over the falls in a breathtaking descent. But long before that, the site was significant to the Palace people, who lived in the area and considered the river sacred. Palouse Falls is now Washington's official state waterfall, a lasting symbol of the state's natural power, beauty, and deep history. The Dungeness Spit, located on the northern coast of Washington's Olympic Peninsula, is the longest natural sand spit in the United States, stretching over 5 miles into the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Formed by the steady accumulation of sediment carried by longshore drift, waves and currents moving material along the coastline. The spit began taking shape thousands of years ago after the last ice age. Glacial retreat left behind massive amounts of gravel and sand, which the sea gradually sculpted into the slender, curving landform we see today. Over time, it has continued to grow and evolve, creating a dynamic and ever changing ecosystem. The area has long been significant to the local coastal Salish tribes, who have lived in the region for generations and relied on the surrounding waters for fishing and sustenance. Visiting the Dungeness Spit is like stepping into a living postcard, windswept, quiet, and dramatic. As you walk the narrow trail along the spit, the world seems to narrow with it, opening water on both sides, seabirds wheeling overhead, and the Olympic Mountains standing watch in the distance. The Dungeness National Wildlife Refuge, established in 1915, protects the delicate environment and the diverse array of wildlife that calls it home, including harbor seals, shorebirds, and bald eagles. The spit is not just a natural formation, it's a story of time, tide, and resilience, offering a rare chance to walk into the sea without ever leaving solid ground. At the end of the spit sits the historic New Dungeness Lighthouse, built in 1857 to guide ships through the busy maritime corridor. If you are looking for an adventure outside of your RV, you can apply to become a lighthouse keeper and stay in the lighthouse. According to their website, the new Dungeness Lighthouse Keeper program provides you, your family, and friends a rare opportunity to spend a week at one of the best restored light stations in the country. Your time at the end of the Dungeness Spit will be filled with the sights and sounds of wildlife, surf, marine traffic, and the laughter of visitors and your fellow keepers. From the time you are driven to the lighthouse in one of our four-wheel drive transfer vehicles until your return, you will escape reality and, for a short time, walk in the shoes of a lighthouse keeper. In addition to the memories you create, you will become part of a special group of people who are helping to preserve the lighthouse for future generations by taking care of this iconic landmark for a week. Frenchman Coulee, located near the town of Vantage in central Washington, is a stunning geological formation shaped by ancient forces. Like much of the Columbia Basin, it was carved by the massive Missoula floods that also affected and created the Palouse Falls. When glacial Lake Missoula repeatedly burst through its ice dam, it unleashed floods which scoured the landscape with incredible force, leaving behind dramatic coulees, dry falls, and basalt columns. Frenchman Coulee is a prime example of this violent history, with its sheer cliffs and hexagonal basalt pillars bearing the marks of rapid erosion and ancient lava flows. The area is part of the channeled scablands, an area generally defined as being south of Lake Roosevelt and the Spokane River, west of the Columbia River, and east of an imaginary line from Spokane to where State Road 127 crosses the Snake River. Also included in the Scablands is the Palouse region and the Cheney-Palouse tract. Frenchman Coulee is both a geological wonder and a recreational haven. As you descend into the coulee, the landscape shifts from opening sagebrush steppe to towering walls of basalt that seem to rise from nowhere. The amphitheater-like cliffs, known as the Feathers, are a favorite among rock climbers for their vertical challenges and striking formations. The echo of footsteps on the canyon floor is often accompanied by the rustle of wind and the occasional cry of a raptor circling overhead. In spring, the desert blooms with wildflowers, painting the stark rocks with bursts of color. Despite its arid setting, Frenchman Coulee holds a quiet drama, an otherworldly beauty that feels both ancient and alive, providing a deep connection to Washington's volcanic past. Oregon. Visiting Multnomah Falls is like stepping into a living postcard, where mist dances off the plunging water and lush greenery clings to rugged cliffs. The iconic Benson Bridge spans the fall's lower tier, offering you breathtaking views and a chance to feel the spray up close. The soothing roar of the water, the scent of the damp earth and moss, and the towering cliffs create a sense of timeless wonder. Throughout its history, the falls have drawn countless travelers, artists, and adventurers, inspiring stories, legends, and even the construction of the historic Multnomah Falls Lodge in 1925, designed to welcome visitors and celebrate the natural grandeur of the Columbia River Gorge. Whether you see it for yourself in the soft magic light of the morning or illuminated at night, Multnomah Falls remains a breathtaking symbol of the Pacific Northwest's wild beauty. Multnomah Falls is just a 40-minute drive east from downtown Portland, just out on Interstate 84. The waterfall was formed during the Missoula floods, which have had a huge impact on the environment here in the Pacific Northwest. The falls cascade in two major tiers, dropping a total of 620 feet, making it the tallest waterfall in Oregon and the second tallest year-round waterfall in the United States. Over time, the falls have become a cherished site, not only for their natural beauty, but also for their cultural significance to the Native American people of the region, including the Multnomah tribe who named the falls. The Painted Hills, located in central Oregon, is just shy of a 2-hour drive from Bend, Oregon. The Painted Hills are a stunning geological marvel formed over millions of years through a unique combination of volcanic activity, climate shifts, and sediment deposition. These colorful hills are part of the John Day Fossil Beds National Monument, a site renowned for preserving layers of the earth that tell the story of ancient ecosystems dating back 40 million years. The vibrant bands of red, gold, black, and tan soil are the result of varying mineral content deposited during different periods of wet and dry climate cycles. Over time, erosion sculpted these sedimentary layers into the rolling hills and intricate patterns visible today, creating one of the most distinctive landscapes in the western United States. Walking among the Painted Hills feels like stepping into a living canvas where nature's palette is on full display. The hills glow warmly in the sunlight, their colors shifting subtly through the day, while dramatic shadows highlight their textured contours. The quiet, open expanse invites reflection and exploration, with trails winding through the colorful terrain and revealing fossils embedded in the layers beneath. The Painted Hills have long been a source of fascination and inspiration, drawing geologists, photographers, and travelers eager to witness their otherworldly beauty. This landscape is not only a window into Earth's distant past, but also a reminder of the power of time and nature's artistry in shaping the land. Additionally, spring, April through May, and fall, September through October, are ideal seasons to visit. In spring, the contrast between the colorful hills and the surrounding green grasses and wildflowers can add for visual interest. In fall, the softer light and cooler temperatures make for comfortable conditions and great visibility. Tucked into southeastern Oregon at the base of the towering Steens Mountain is the Alvord Desert, a stark and surreal landscape shaped by geological forces. Once the floor of a vast prehistoric lake known as Lake Alvord, the desert was gradually formed as the climate in the region became more arid over thousands of years. The lake dried up, leaving behind a large, flat playa, an expanse of cracked white earth that now stretches for more than 80 square miles. This high desert basin lies in the rain shadow of the Steens, which blocks moisture from the west, contributing to Alvord's unique and extreme dryness. The landscape today is remnant of ancient waters and tectonic shifts, a place where earth and sky meet in one of Oregon's most remote and captivating regions. Visiting the Alvord Desert feels like stepping onto another planet. The open horizon seems to stretch forever, and the silence is vast and unbroken. The cracked pale ground creates a sense of weightlessness, and on some days, mirages dance in the distance under the intense sun. At night, the desert transforms, utterly dark, with stars blazing overhead in one of the clearest night skies in the continental U.S. It's a place of solitude and simplicity where you can camp on the playa, soak in a nearby natural hot springs, and marvel at the beauty of the surrounding terrain. If you're lucky, you just may get to watch a thunderstorm roll across the basin. Either way, the Alvord Desert offers an unforgettable immersion in the wild, open heart of Oregon. Let's take a moment and hear a word from our friends over at Camper Alerts. It's summertime and the great outdoors are calling, but did you forget to book a campsite 9 months ago? Well, don't worry. Say goodbye to sold out campgrounds with Camper Alerts. With Camper Alerts, you can choose your campground, select your site type, and set a personalized alert. And when a site becomes available, they will notify you. It's that simple. Visit camperalerts.com today and start setting your alerts. And now back to the show. Let's talk about Idaho. Shoshone Falls, often called the Niagara of the West, is one of the most striking natural wonders in Idaho. Towering at 212 feet, taller than Niagara Falls, it was formed during the end of the last ice age, more than 14,000 years ago, by the powerful forces of glacial flooding. As the ancient Lake Bonneville broke through its natural dam in what is now Utah, the massive outflow carved deep canyons into southern Idaho's Snake River Plain, leaving behind dramatic features like the Snake River Canyon and Shoshone Falls. Over time, the river's continued flow helped shape the falls into the broad, dramatic cascade that exists today. If you find yourself standing at the overlook, you are greeted by the thunderous roar of water tumbling over the jagged cliffs into the canyon below, especially during spring runoff when the falls are at their most powerful. Mist rises in glimmering veils, and rainbows often arch through the spray under a midday sun. The surrounding parkland offers trails, picnic areas, and panoramic views of the Snake River Gorge. The falls also have a place in American innovative history. Thomas Edison once tried to develop hydroelectric power at Shoshone Falls in the early 1900s. And a few elite and well-known kayakers have attempted and successfully run Shoshone Falls. But it is extremely rare due to the fall's height, complexity, and dangerous conditions. One of the most notable descents was by Tyler Brandt again. In 2009, Brandt successfully kayaked over Shoshone Falls during a period of relatively high water flow. This was a significant and wildly publicized feat in the paddling world, as the falls are 212 feet tall, higher than Niagara Falls, and involve technical challenges beyond just the drop, including hazardous currents and a shallow landing zone. Due to the risk level, such descents are reserved only for highly experienced kayakers under very specific conditions, and they remain controversial even within the paddling community. But beyond human influence, the site remains a place of natural awe and wonder, offering a rare and breathtaking glimpse of Idaho's wild geological legacy. Hell's Canyon, straddling the border between northeastern Oregon and western Idaho, is North America's deepest river gorge, plunging more than 7,900 feet from its highest point to the Snake River below. The canyon's dramatic formation began over 300 million years ago with volcanic activity that laid down layers of basalt and other rock. Over time, tectonic uplift raised the land, while the persistent erosive power of the Snake River carved the massive gorge we see today. The result is a geological marvel, a raw, rugged landscape of steep cliffs, craggy ridges, and deeply incised canyons. Indigenous people, including the Nez Perce, have lived in and around Hell's Canyon for thousands of years, leaving behind petroglyphs and cultural sites that speak to a rich, enduring relationship with the land. Later, the canyon became a corridor for fur traders, miners, and homesteaders, all drawn by its isolation and opportunity. Hell's Canyon is a place of adventure and extremes, remote, wild, and breathtakingly beautiful. The river slices through basalt walls that glow gold in the morning light, while bighorn sheep scale the cliffs and eagles circle high above. The Snake River winds its way through the canyon, offering a mix of Class 3 and 4 rapids. jet boats, rafts, and kayakers navigate the canyon's whitewater, while hikers and backpackers explore its high ridge lines and hidden valleys. The scale of this place is humbling, and the silence, especially in the upper reaches, is profound. Whether you're peering down from the scenic overlook or paddling through its narrow depths, Hell's Canyon offers a visceral encounter with time, geology, and the enduring spirit of the wild Pacific Northwest. The Bruneau Sand Dunes, located in southwestern Idaho, are home to the tallest single structured sand dune in North America, rising nearly 470 feet above the desert floor. These dunes were formed over tens of thousands of years by a unique combination of geological and meteorological conditions. Unlike typical dunes formed by prevailing winds, the Bruneau sand dunes were created by wind patterns that swirl within the basin, causing sand to accumulate in one place rather than blow away. The surrounding area was once an ancient lake bed, and as water levels receded, fine sand and sediment remained, eventually shaped by the wind into the towering dunes you see today. This geological oddity, isolated from other major dune systems, has fascinated scientists and visitors alike. Exploring the Bruneau sand dunes feels like stepping into a sun-drenched, windswept world where time slows and nature dominates. You can hike to the top of the massive dunes, each step a soft, slow climb as grains of sand shift underfoot. From the summit, the surrounding desert stretches out in all directions, framed by distant mountains and big western skies. At dusk, the dunes glow with golden and rose hues, and the stars emerge in brilliant clarity. Thanks to the region's low light pollution and the on-site public observatory. The observatory is open to the public Friday and Saturday evenings, March 21st through October 12th. Whether you're sliding down the dunes on a sandboard or simply standing still and listening to the wind, the Bruneau sand dunes offer a quiet, powerful reminder of nature's ability to create beauty through persistence and time. There's a kind of magic in these natural wonders of the Pacific Northwest, an untamed beauty that calls you off the highway and into landscapes that stir something ancient and quiet within you. One moment, you might find yourself standing at the edge of Hell's Canyon, the deepest gorge in North America, watching hawks circle far above while the Snake River threads its way through the shadowed rock. Next, you're tracing your fingers across the ancient petroglyphs carved into basalt by the voices of people who lived here long before state lines and roads. These places don't just ask for your attention, they demand your stillness, your awe, your willingness to be small in the presence of something far older than any of us. Taking the time to explore these places is more than just checking a box and snapping a photo. It's about reconnecting with nature, with yourself, and with the rhythm of the earth that still beats in places like the Painted Hills, the Alvord Desert, or the lapping of small waves and the sounds of shorebirds along the Dungeness Spit. Each trail, dune, waterfall, and canyon tells a story shaped by fire, ice, and water. Reminders of a wild past that's still alive if you're willing to step into it. These Pacific Northwest natural wonders aren't just destinations. They're invitations to slow down, breathe deep, and remember what it feels like to be completely present in a world that's very much alive. Thank you for listening to RV Out West. I sincerely appreciate it. If you liked this episode, please share it with your family and friends. I'd also like to invite you to follow RV Out West on Instagram and Facebook, where you can join in on the conversation. Next week, I'm excited because I'm going to be sharing all about my experiences visiting Mount St. Helens. As someone who was alive and remembers when she blew her top, I've never actually visited the mountain for myself, and I'm excited to say that I'm finally going to make it. Tune in next week for a first-hand account as I'm going to tell all. Americana by Mr. Smith was the background music in today's episode. This music was sourced via Free Music Archive and is licensed by Creative Commons. Thanks so much for listening to RV Out West. Join us again next week. Please like and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you choose to get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. I sure would appreciate it if you left a rating or a review of the show. Special thanks to Scott Holmes Music for providing us the intro song, We Are One. RV Out West can be found on Instagram and Facebook, where you can interact with us and follow along on our RV adventures around the Pacific Northwest. So get out there, explore, and go see what's beyond the horizon.